By the Sly for Vaughn comments. They be saying Sly for Vaughn. I think they trolling me.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more.
Cameras captured the aftermath.
The court hearing around
That Lil Durk court hearing just pulled the curtain back on some real deal reality. And listen to this, it's not looking good at all. Folks who were actually inside that courtroom said Durk looked noticeably thinner, like the weight of the moment was written all over him. His dreads were gone, his energy felt drained, the tension was thick, and updates were flying in back to back. Hold up, the judge shut down his motion to disqualify, denied the motion to dismiss for vagueness, and only took the bill of particulars under advisement, which tells me this situation is far from cooling off.
Lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only two ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one they actually say.
Both sides have now been given extra time to respond by Friday, while count 4 is still floating out there under review. Yeah, that part isn't settled yet. Outside the courthouse, one lawyer stepped up and broke it down in the simplest terms possible. Once those motions were denied, listen to this, the door to getting the case tossed basically slammed shut, and that means Durk is now headed straight toward trial, and insiders are saying that road rarely ends pretty. Online creators wasted no time reacting, clips and takes popping up everywhere. But hold up, because the most troubling part came right after that. Feds allegedly obtained a group text chat from a cooperating witness, claiming Durk talked about retaliation involving people tied to King Von. Girl, that's heavy. Prosecutors are pressing hard, saying they have a witness who claims Lil Durk gave direct orders, and those allegations are now officially sitting inside the evidence file.
This is my last no jumper. Durk already told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
This
free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. This some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that
Well, then we don't. Hold up. According to courtroom chatter, Durk allegedly had growing tension with people in his circle because he felt there was no retaliation after King Von passed. And listen, that mindset matters. That frustration, they say, didn't just sit there. It reportedly boiled over. Even Whack 100 jumped into the conversation, reacting to Durk's situation. And trust me, his response was anything but supportive.
Life, by basically saying he's guilty of for hire. And the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing, there's no message that they got that says, where Durk says, y'all that Quando yet? Nothing says that.
You missing the point.
Okay.
They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
that's co-conspirator too.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of them is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other two was figuring out how they getting paid.
But here's where the whole thing gets tangled. Listen to this. Inside the courtroom, it was confirmed that the main cooperating witness may have been playing games with the feds the entire time. Newly surfaced paperwork shows that the witness changed their story, first saying there was no bounty involved, then out of nowhere claiming there was one. Hold up. That kind of flip cracks credibility wide open and suddenly puts a possible not guilty angle on the table. Some people thought this was just bad information falling apart, but he's actually trying to remove himself from the case altogether. So yeah, that theory doesn't completely hold up.
That's what Didi did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Didi to hire. Didi's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
Still, the pressure hasn't let up at all. Feel that weight. Federal prosecutors keep piling on evidence, tying Durk to an alleged hit connected to Quando Rondo's crew, and even circling back to a 2021 gas station incident in Georgia. They're also pointing to lyrics and online chatter like Slide for Vaughn, claiming the timelines line up a little too clean. Listen, fans call it coded talk and rap bravado, but Durk's legal team is not backing down. They're still pushing hard for the bond and aggressively poking holes in every weak claim they can find.
Left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
New comments coming directly from Lil Durk's father just reignited conversations about a possible bond release. And listen, this time it feels real. This marks Durk's third attempted bond, and his legal team did not come playing around at all. They reportedly crafted the offer so airtight that it leaves the judge very little room to shut it down. Hold up, and that move alone shifted the entire energy inside the courtroom almost instantly.
The search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Prosecutors had to drop certain pieces of evidence after Durk's lawyers exposed timelines that just didn't make sense. Listen to this. One major example involved lyrics saying they got the addy, they got the location, which the feds attempted to frame as a confession. The defense fired back hard, proving those lines were penned long before the Lil Pab incident ever went down. Hold up. That move seriously rattled the narrative, even though prosecutors still tried to tie in reactions from Quando Rondo at the scene.
This is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Durk's lawyer later went on record in an interview, straight up calling the charges a joke and saying the case is unraveling piece by piece. But don't get it twisted, things could still get messy. A new cooperating witness reportedly popped into the mix, and paperwork tied to Vonnie quietly shifted. His status flipped to no longer in custody, which usually signals a plea deal and house arrest. Hold up, that theory blew up when leaked texts hit the internet. In one message, Vonnie allegedly wrote, "I'm trying to plea out, breaking down point reductions and sentencing math that lands around 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. I don't want to get caught like the other guys." That line alone sent shockwaves, and people say he was hinting at what happened to Jam. But girl, that's a deeper story for later.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Vaughn? Like King Vaughn?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Vaughn? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Vaughn before.
What really caught everyone off guard was what happened next. Listen to this. Once Vonnie's father realized his son was cooperating, he didn't stay silent for a second. He went public, claiming Vonnie had involvement tied to King Von's past, and even said Lil Durk was aware of it too. Hold up.
Why would Durk want Vaughn on?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signed to boys. Vaughn wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Vaughn didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Man, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney?" He had a public defender.
That alone had fans buzzing with wild questions. Listen to this. At first, it seems backwards. Why would Durk want Van out of the picture if they were supposedly that close? But the story starts making sense once people remember that Durk and Vaughn were tied up in a criminal case together not long after Van passed. That case quietly wrapped up with a private settlement. Durk's charges disappeared. Court records were sealed. No details, no explanations, nothing. That alone had fans throwing major side eyes at the whole situation. Then one fan dug even deeper and dropped a tweet that went viral, pointing out that Durk went live on Instagram almost immediately after Lil Pab and FBG Duck passed, just like he did after Vaughn.
He ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages? Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was the focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and that. And with me saying Vaughn, some people like, man, what, he gonna tell on some words on Vaun?
I ain't gonna lie. I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Vaughn. You gonna tell that just like you orchestrated Lil Pab, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
To some fans, that looks like Durk stepping into the spotlight to prove he wasn't involved. Listen to this. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, Vonnie's dad doubled down, claiming his own son helped orchestrate what went down with Lil Pap and King Von. Just when the mess seemed maxed out, another cooperating witness reportedly joined the case. And this one had rappers online literally saying, "Please tell me this ain't real." The reason? The new name being floated is allegedly tied to F name, a name that alone sent shockwaves through everyone almost immediately.
Really? Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Word on the street is it's Ted, Dee's younger brother. Listen to this. He's not deep in the day-to-day grind, but close enough to catch plenty of the action. And get this, it's all tied through family connections to Lil Durk.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I tell you about the money, I swear to God, I tell you about the money, I used to pitch my son, I tell you about everything, I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Here's the wild part. Listen to this. Ted didn't get caught up in this because of Durk directly, but because of his own slip-up. He got arrested after a firearm incident at a convenience store, and once he hit the station, the pressure reportedly broke him fast. Sources say he told officers straight up that he was willing to talk about people involved in crimes. While sitting in a holding cell, he allegedly broke down, crying, and started spilling to an officer with barely any push. That's a nightmare scenario for any case this high profile.
Oh, you gotta relax on me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? What you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, all right? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax on me. Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax. Give me No, I'm saying, what are you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
At the same time, Durk's legal team isn't just sitting back. Listen to this. They're pushing a fresh angle, arguing the government doesn't even have enough clarity to charge him properly. A new motion to dismiss was filed, claiming the second indictment is far too vague to hold up in court.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
If that doesn't fly, they're demanding a bill of particulars to make prosecutors lay it all out. Listen to this. The defense wants the so-called coded language, the exact details of any alleged bounty, dates, times, circumstances, everything. They're not settling for hints, especially when it comes to claims connected to Quando Rondo.
Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story...
Things just took a dark turn inside the facility, and trust me, it's not looking good for Lil Durk. Reports say he was moved to solitary after a corrections officer allegedly discovered a cell phone in his cell, and that alone set off major red flags. But hold up, that wasn't even the only issue. It was also reported that Durk got into an altercation inside the jail earlier, and that instantly had the culture buzzing with reactions.
Bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
Lil Baby reportedly spoke up, saying he doesn't care about anything else right now except Durk. Listen to this. At the same time, the streets started connecting dots, noticing people close to Durk keep getting hit. His close friend Glee passed around the same time Durk was allegedly targeted inside, and that timing has fans asking some serious questions. This is exactly why the feds are on edge about witnesses disappearing. They keep pointing back to Jam, who hasn't been heard from at all, and rumors started swirling fast. Some even wonder if Durk tried to silence him, while others say that the narrative is straight-up reach. Either way, the pressure is insane right now. If you want real-time updates as this story keeps unfolding, make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.